We are back! Back in the studio. Jason, how are we?
Doing good. Well,
Are you though?
I've aged 10 years this week. I've had a ride.
I just love getting the little updates. Honestly, it just makes my day getting the little updates from you. Just when I get little texts off of Jason and he says, "Hey, how do you function on this little sleep? How long does this no sleeping stage last for? Why would you do this to yourself 3 times?"
It's not even just the sleep. It's like the constant, you constantly need to be on it. Obviously, I get that.
Obviously, it's a child.
I know.
It can't fend for itself yet.
I don't know why I had a different
What, do you think it was just going to come out and just be able to cook a meal?
I kind of thought that they might, eat, sleep, repeat. Eat, sleep, repeat.
No, that's a lie.
That's a lie.
And that's what is it not like eat, sleep, rave, repeat?
That's more accurate. Except it's like eat, rave,
10 minutes sleep.
eat. The only repeat is the fact that there's no sleep. That's
Well,
the only
mate, that
repeat.
is your life from now on. That's Groundhog Day for at least the next year and a half until AJ starts sleeping properly.
They just want to be on you. They just want to be on you and moving around. You can't sit down. You have to be moving around. So even at the desk, it doesn't work. They have to be moving.
It's class, isn't it?
I know. You take them out to the pram, give them like an hour walk, and you think, yeah, this is going to set them right off. Not even an hour, but they're out of it. As soon as the pram gets back inside and it stops moving, you put that parking brake. Whew. There you go.
There you go.
Right back in the thick of it. So it's just sending emails to people, say, hey, this is what's happening right now. To be fair, I'm going hard on my Instagram stories to make it very obvious that I am a parent and I am tired. There's no more holidays to share. It's just me. Hey, I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I've got a baby in my arms. I'm not editing your film. But you kind of hate on me because this baby's cute. So that's life.
Yeah, well, that will only last for so long, and then you'll have the wolves at the door. So better start editing soon, my friend.
Whenever I can.
Yeah,
Whenever I
that's
can.
it. You just need to, if baby's 2 o'clock in the morning, get some editing done, you're not sleeping anyway.
I know. It's always so hard to start a project at 2 o'clock in the morning, though. Like, it's such an overwhelming
Just do ceremony
task.
speeches.
I know.
Just do that.
Just do something.
Do at least then it keeps on moving the needle forward. You know,
Yeah.
that's what I've been having to do recently. Like I've not really had much time to do kind of like creative edits or anything like that. So I've just been focusing on ceremony and speeches.
Yeah.
Just to move the needle forward somewhat, because but the kids are now, Frankie's now in school.
Yep.
Boys are in nursery, and just as I was about to get some work done, we are getting like new flooring put through the full kind of like hallway, kitchen, living area plus my office, and they're meant to be coming next week. So I was like, I've got 2 days this week where I can just get loads of work done.
Yeah.
I was buzzing about it. They phone just as we've picked Harry and Brody up from their settling in day at nursery, because they were in there for like an hour and a half. We were wondering if you can move the flooring to tomorrow. And I was like, right, well, there goes my 2 days of editing. And I don't edit very well in a coffee shop. It just doesn't work for me.
No.
So I tried to get a bit of work done, but yeah, it just didn't really work. So anyway, put off again from working until hopefully this weekend. I don't have any weddings this weekend, so I'm going to just try and get some work done, which will be nice. It will just be a good feeling to try and get things moving again, because backlog's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you see your week you see your week ahead and your to-do tasks for that week, and then you wake up in the morning and things happen that day that just stop you from getting there. And it's like, well, that's been a week, and now that to-do list looks exactly the same, except there's some more things at the bottom of it. I feel like that's just kind of been life for the last, I'd say weeks, but it's been months, to be fair, that's kind of happened. But
it's what happens, mate, when stuff happens.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking forward to get back into it.
I'm going to send over, I'll be sending over some edits over to bride and groom as well to help me out, because they're just it's a lifesaver just having that option there, just so that they can take on some of the editing workloads, and it means that, you know, it frees you up. It buys you back, like, if you can send over like 2 edits over to them, it buys you back like a week, 2 weeks sometimes, you know, so it can be a bit of a godsend. So looking forward to doing that. We'll be doing that very soon. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other kind of like major life stuff, just part for the kids and that, starting, Frankie's starting school, which was quite emotional, just seeing him in his little like blazer and stuff like that. It was quite cute. Yeah, I think that's it. We were away on holiday, took the kids away for a little kind of like holiday just before they went to school, so that was good fun. Yeah, that's pretty much been it, to be honest. But the busy season for me is somewhat over, which is good. Like, I'm past the peak of it. Just got all the editing to deal with now, but like in terms of just being constantly being out shooting, now it's a little bit more sporadic, and it's back to what it was like in the springtime. Yeah, which is nice.
See, for me, I'm kind of like right in the beginning, middle of it. My busy season was August, September, October. And it really is like, so there's a few last week, few more. Actually, we kind of like, August is kind of quieting down now, but September it starts again. There's like, I think I've got 6 and 10 days coming up at the beginning of September. That actually might be 7 now, because I think I just booked the last minute one. That I don't know if that falls in that 10 days. Either way, it's either 6 and 10 days or 7 and 11 days. So what are those?
7-11?
7-11.
You're going to be good.
Well, I booked a little.
I'm never doing that again. I don't actually know how I done it. It was just pure, just because my head's been up my arse, but it was just poor management, to be honest. But yeah, that was grim. Didn't help that somebody nicked my keys and I didn't get home until...
Really?
I didn't get home or get to sleep until like 4 a.m. to be up at like bloody 8 a.m. the next day at the start.
How did they have your keys?
Oh, I wonder.
Did you give them your keys?
Not to keep.
Oh, you gave them your keys?
Not to keep.
But you gave them.
I said, can you go to the car and get my lights? And that did not involve keeping the keys.
And you handed the keys to that person?
Yes, expecting the keys to come back.
See, that was your big mistake. Okay. That was your big mistake. Right. All right, yeah. I've got no sympathy for you. That's entirely your fault.
Yeah, absolutely.
It must have been someone who was incredibly tired and struggling.
What a prick. So that definitely didn't help. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. So Godspeed on that front. But
you say that now, but we'll see.
I guess this brings us on quite nicely to our subject of the week. Cocking up.
Cocking up. I want to take everyone back to Sunday morning. We're talking this Sunday morning just passed, not even a week ago. And I was probably facing... it's probably the most distressed that I've ever felt since starting this business. I was an absolute mess.
And we're going to find out why it was an absolute mess just after this quick break.
Have you seen Lumix have just announced another new camera, the S1 II?
Well, you know I have.
This camera is chock full of features that wedding videographers like you are going to love, including 5.1K open gate at 50 frames a second for the first time.
Incredible slow-mo footage at 100 frames a second in 4K.
Best in class image stabilization.
And also a new and improved hybrid phase detect autofocus.
You can get your hands on this camera by loaning it for up to 48 hours. Just visit the Lumix store.
And if you do decide that this is the camera for you, remember to use code TWVP at the Lumix store for 10% off. That's right, 10% off this brand new camera that we believe is the perfect camera for wedding filmmakers.
I went to start a teaser for a film that I had filmed on the Thursday. This couple had paid for me to stay until the very last dance. So I was there until like midnight, and
I think I'd actually seen as well, sorry about it, but I think I'd actually seen as well that you were buzzing about the footage that you captured. You said it was one of the best weddings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was so happy. Like sometimes like I've got this package where you can stay until the last dance, and sometimes it's like, yeah, I didn't really need that. Like there's not too much happening, but most of the time it's okay. This one just went levels above and above. The dancing was so good, and there was so many little moments in the evening that I thought, that's going to look really good in this film. That bit's going to be really good. There's like funny jokes that they're going to get so much value out of me being there. I'd also done some interviews that night with people. So I got some really cool answers for them, and I knew how important it was for them to have that dancing. Now, I had a second shooter with me that day, but I sent them home. Funny enough, the band actually, their van broke down on the way to the venue.
Did it?
Yeah, so, and I'd recommended that band as well.
Oh
my
dear.
God. But the van had broken down in Falkirk. We were at the other side of Edinburgh, so they were over an hour away. And so they didn't get started until about 10:15. But everyone was so cool about it. Like the couple were like, just the weather was nice, so they were all in the courtyard. There was a Spotify playlist playing, but the band hadn't started until then. So my second, I was like, look, you can go home if you want to, but he was kind enough, he stayed. I did sort of like say, hey, look, you can go. It's up to you, but you can go if you want. And he just looked at me like, I'm not going to leave you. Shouted to Rob.
Is that Rob?
Yeah.
Blackfair Media?
Yeah. I genuinely meant it. He could go because normally I don't need 2 shooters for the first dance.
Legend Rob.
But yeah, thank God he did actually stay. He doesn't. No one else actually knows this story. To be fair, so I've only told you.
Oh. Right, we're in for the goss. We're in for the goss.
So
tell us.
Oh man, so capture all the footage. It's absolutely amazing. Buzzing, sending in the group messages saying, I've just had the greatest wedding ever. So happy about it. And I don't have a wedding the following day, right? But I get home. Actually, I'm stuck at the venue because a taxi has blocked the only exit because there's a bus blocking him. So I'm stuck at the venue for another 45 minutes. And I get home maybe about 2:30 in the morning. And normally the process is, right, get the bag in the office, start backing things up, do that sort of jazz. But AJ was just about due a feed, so I kind of like sat and dealt with him. He was having a bit of a riot, so I was up with him for another like hour and a half. And at that point, like 4:30ish, it was. I'll just go to bed. I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll deal with stuff in the morning.
That was your first mistake.
First mistake. Second mistake. We'll get to the second mistake in a bit, but. Just the Friday was an absolute riot with AJ. He just wouldn't sell. So, we're working as a team to try and like get him what he needs, get him settled down, just figuring out what we can do. So I never actually get back to my desk at night until about 7 at night that night because we're just busy trying to deal with AJ. So I start backing up my cards because I've got a wedding the next day. Where I'm associate shooting for someone else, and it's like a 3-hour drive north. So we'll be leaving early. So it's not a case of waking up in the morning and getting stuff, ready before the wedding. I wanted to get it ready this time. So I take all my cards, my card holder, put them in the laptop, start transferring all the files using Offshoot, which basically ensures all the files from the card are transferred. We've already had the first mistake I didn't even include. The first mistake was leaving the cards in the camera.
Ah, okay.
The first mistake was finishing at 12 o'clock and not taking the cards out of the camera.
Okay, sorry, yeah, that was your first.
That was the first mistake. So my cards are still in the camera.
Second mistake was going to bed at 4 a.m.
Yeah. So I'm taking all my cards out of the card holder and I put them into the files. I've made all my folders that I need because I know what cameras and what, who shot them. And then I'm in the middle of doing that. And then again, we have to deal with AJ. He's absolutely kicking up a fuss.
Poor child's getting the blame here.
Yeah.
It's not even done anything wrong.
It's definitely not. I take all accountability of what's happened, but it was all his fault.
No, you don't. You're blaming the child.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, I'm blaming him. So all his fault. So I decided to give a bath, and then we started putting to bed and things, and I'm like, okay, I can see all my batteries are charged and stuff. I'm good. We are good to go. All the cards are back in the card holder, and I think nothing more of it. We get to the venue the next day at 11 o'clock in the morning. I take out my camera. There's 2 cards in the camera. I'm like, there's cards still in this camera. They must be important. I should probably check what they are before doing anything because I thought I captured everything, but I'm not going to format them. So I put them in my card holder and just set them aside and then take out 2 cards I know how I've got captured and backed up, pop them in, format it. It's all good to go. We shoot the whole day, and we do a really good job of it. We're capturing so much footage, so much really good footage for the videographer who's associated to us. And it gets to the very end of the night. We're about to do a dance, and I can't remember if the guy we're shooting for does a wide shot of the dance floor. So I was like, you know what? Just as a precaution to the second shooter that day, I said, look, go just set up a wide, and we'll just capture the first dance there. Now, unbeknown to me, I'm trying to set up a light and stuff before the first dance starts. Unbeknown, my second goes to my card holder and takes out 2 cards and pops them in this camera and formats them. I don't know this has happened at this point. And of course, that's not his fault. He didn't know that the 2 cards were, he thought everything in that was as it should be. All the cards in there should be useful. But of course, I knew where 2 cards were. I just thought he'd use cards he'd used during the day for that shot. Or didn't even think that the camera needed a card. Because I thought it was still in there. But again, it won't have been because he gave me cards. Anyway, doesn't matter. So, formats the cards and shoots the dance. It's not until I get home on Sunday, after backing up all the cards from Saturday, that I'm like, right, let's get to work on this epic teaser from Thursday. And I'm looking through the folders, and there's one folder empty. And it's the evening. It's the whole evening part. Anything after 9 o'clock, which was a bunch of interviews, a bunch of beer pong, first dance, all the dancing, really good stuff. It's gone. And they paid me extra for that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe I haven't transferred the card yet. So I then begin to take all my cards. And I'm going in through everything. And then I'm starting to panic. And Jean comes through with AJ. And I'm like, Jean, you're going to have to leave me alone just now. I am freaking out. I'm freaking out. I cannot find this.
Then he texts me.
I didn't even text you. This Jean told me to text you. And it's like, he's just going to rub it in for being an idiot.
Jean told you to text what? As in, like, for an
ask for
agony
advice. Ask for advice.
And who gave you the advice in the
We'll
end?
get there, Danny.
Yes, thank you, Jean. At least you know.
Right. I
She
told
knows.
no one. I
She
told
knows.
no one. Because the irony of this is that at dinner that day with the photographer and the second shooter, we'd said, has anyone ever lost footage? And I'd confidently go, nope, never lost footage.
Nope, not
Never
me.
lost it.
Can I just butt in here as well?
Sure.
Did I rub it in? Was
No.
I very sympathetic?
Only when I'd calmed down.
No,
Like-
but I did not rub it in at all.
No, you didn't.
I did
you didn't.
not.
But if I'd spoken to you when I was at that stage,
I wouldn't have. Not at that stage. I'm not that cruel. I'm not that cruel. Not when you're at the height of it. Now I'll absolutely rip you to shreds. Like there is no denying that I will go to town on you. But at the time, I wouldn't do that because it's a
Yeah.
horrible feeling.
it was distressing. Like, again, the whole wedding day's there, but it's specific. I had plans for the film. There were shots in there that were gone. And it's heavily embarrassing to have to go to a client and say, by the way, I've cocked up. I have deleted the footage. But I could see what's happened is that there were 2 cards in there that had a first dance in it. One clip, one first dance. And there were 3 cards that were formatted with nothing on them. But the 2 cards that had one dance, that's all they had in them. So my formatted cards that had nothing on them, the ones that were meant to be used that day, were still empty. And I began to do the math. And I realized it was actually gone. And I Googled quickly, like, if you've formatted a card and overwritten it, is it saved? And it said no. I didn't quite understand what that meant, but
you didn't ask.
I didn't ask.
You didn't ask Danny Google.
In hindsight,
Danny
Google.
AI. Danny AI. Rizzo
Danny
AI.
Danny I. Danny
Danny
I.
I.
Danny I.
Danny I. There you go. That's
have.
it, folks. Any problems that you have in your wedding videography business, just ask Danny I.
Yeah. But the only question I did ask you was, is this letter okay to send to the couple? And you said yes.
I did say yes, but at that point, I was in the middle of, because I think was I not on holiday at that point? Yeah, I was. I was still on holiday. So I was
you
dealing
were
with
taking an
screaming
age.
Waynes. I was dealing with screaming Waynes that were just screaming about how, do you know what, this is exactly what happened, because I remember it vividly. I actually left the table because the boys asked for a drink, right? And I asked everybody what they wanted, and Harry wanted an apple and blackcurrant, and then Frankie wanted like a fresh orange juice. So I come back to the table and I went, all right, Harry, are you sure? Because Frankie's getting a fresh orange juice, and when you see that, you're probably going to want it. No, Daddy, want apple and blackcurrant. That's fine. Knew it was going to happen. Done it anyway. Come back to the table, hand over, I want the orange juice. I want the orange. And I was just, honestly, fuck my life. So I then said to Kirsty, I need to go and look at this message that Jase sent me. It's really important. So then I went away, and that's when I wasn't thinking entirely clearly at the time. However, you did make another mistake here because you jumped the gun.
Yeah. Still delivering your wedding films by USB?
Ew.
We use VidFlow, the sleekest platform for delivering your wedding films. It makes your couples feel like they've got their own private Netflix.
Plus, with their white labeling service, you can customize everything from the branding to the custom domain, so you can make it super personal.
Want to wow your clients? Use the code TWVP10 to get 10% off all pro plans, including white labeling service.
Head on over to vidflow.co today and level up your wedding film delivery experience.
Let's talk about backlog.
Woo!
Editing piles up fast and is overwhelming.
That's why we use brideandgroom.video, a wedding editing company that delivers stunning wedding films faster without compromising on quality.
If you're looking for an editor that's going to match your unique style so it feels like you've made them, you've found them.
Use code TWVP75 at checkout to get £75 off your first order and try out their service.
Clear your backlog and grow your business. Try brideandgroom.video today.
Hasta la vista, backlog. You did jump the gun, and I'll let you take it away with the rest of the story because it continues.
Well, it was really important because I thought I was still going to work on that teaser that day.
Yeah.
And there was going to be a distinct lack of dancing involved in that. And I didn't want them to ask the question, we thought maybe see more of that. The full day was great, so they probably wouldn't have asked questions anyway. But it was important to me be up front, kind of own the mistake, and initially give them the refund for the extra time that they paid for. So I spent a while drafting with ChatGPT to think of how could we do this correctly. I came up with something that I was like, yeah, okay, that's got all the own points in it, and I just wanted you to go through it. So yeah, once you got dealt with your drama and you dealt with my drama, I was like, yeah, I sent it on, and to be fair, they were such good sports about it. They actually said it's actually a blessing in disguise because we were so wasted. So I felt good that they were okay about it. It felt terrible that it'd been lost, but gave them the £500 back, no questions asked. And I would say, hey, look, send me some phone footage because I saw people were there with a phone. There was a guy with an Insta360 out all night. Give me his footage. We'll make something with it, So owning up the mistake and, taking accountability for it was really important for me. And I think that should happen.
Well, yeah, no, definitely. I think you were obviously just, in hindsight, you were a bit quick.
Yeah, I didn't investigate fully how to solve the situation because
but I think again we'll probably put that down to A, panic, and B, you're obviously tired. And
no, it's never happened to me before. I don't know about restoring data and things like that. It's never been something I've had to deal with. And when I did a Google, they said it had been overwritten, so it was gone, which they're not lying about.
Danny I.
Yeah. Danny I, when you called me about station saying how you feeling, right? And I was like, oh man, I can tell you exactly what's happened, mate. So my second shooter has taken a card and filmed one file with it. And that's when Danny I jumped in. Said, what, one file? It's like, yeah, it's like a 15 gigabyte file of the first dance. And he's like, well, so they've not written over the whole card. You've not used a whole days of card. No, have not. So, well, get online and type in disc drill.
Not sponsored, but Jason owes him a great debt. So you're getting a free shout out.
I don't know. I was sort of naive to the thought that once you format a card and you write one file on it, the whole card gets wiped. But that's not how data works. It's all stored in partitions. So essentially, once you format a card, you're giving the card permission to delete files once you press record and overwrite that. So it had just overwritten 15 gigabyte of the card, and the rest of the data was still accessible. Now, it did the scan of the card and I got files, but they were all corrupted. So another bit of software called Recoverit by Wondershare is another tool I had to use. So once I had...
Oh, so disc drill not actually work?
Well, it does work, but it didn't work very well.
Oh, okay. Right.
It was all very glitchy and it was...
Okay, take back the shout out.
They recovered the cards initially, although Wondershare apparently does this too, I think, but I don't...
So is it Wondershare that were actually the ones that...
Disc drill got the files back initially, but the corrupted files.
And then what Wondershare...
Wondershare. So I've actually used something else as well on this.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Right,
No, I am still fixing the files. To this day, I am still fixing them.
Okay.
But so Wondershare, I basically took the files downloaded from disc drill. It was basically just all the data was there, all the gigabytes were there, but they were just unplayable MP4s. All the JPEGs of the stills are there, so I could see them. And So I take them into Wondershare and do a diagnosis. Now, of course, you need a sample bit of footage.
Yep.
So, but I don't have a sample bit of footage from that card because it was all formatted. So I have to figure out, and of course, during the night, I shot footage in 25 frames, I shot footage in 50 frames, and I shot footage in 100 frames. So you have to match the clip to whatever the frame rate was. Otherwise, it'll restore it back and slow it down or speed it up. So I have, and of course, there's no data telling me what the files are. And I can't watch the files to see them. So I had to do, basically, most of the clips would have been, at dancing, most of the clips would have been 25. So I took the ceremony clip from the day using the same camera, and that matched. But it wasn't clean. All the footage wasn't clean. There was some that were super slow motion. There was a bunch of audio glitches on them there again. But I did save the majority of them. And I made a list of all the files that were too fast or too slow or, were just kind of glitchy. And then I used a third bit of software called Fix.Video, which is a really good service. I think I paid $99 to have unlimited fixes, which you could normally pay like $27 to fix a big file, which is really good if like one of your speeches files corrupts. I've used that in the past. So I paid $99 and then I basically just have to upload the file and it will fix it without any sort of sample stuff. Now,
that works.
It's fixed the majority of them.
Yeah, because there's no getting away from it. There will be some that are absolutely ghost.
Yeah, it's like what it does is it's not saved on some files it uploads. It's like 3 files in one.
Yeah.
So it's like it's seen me stop and then moved on to another one. It's not clear cut, but what I can guarantee is that I can quite easily see the final dance. I can quite easily see the first dance. I can. I've got the Kaylee. I've got the interviews. They're all there.
And the interviews are fine audio wise.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So like there is going to be some that you've not got.
Yeah.
Because it's overwritten.
Yeah.
15
I don't have any of the beer pong, but I know that my second shooter got the beer pong.
Okay. And there will be ones that you've got audio glitches on and stuff like that. But for the most part, the audio doesn't really matter.
No.
It would for the interviews, but as long as you've got the actual video files, that's really all that matters. Even if it isn't in the right speed, you could probably times 2 it and speed it back up.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah. To be honest, you've came out of it after logging on to Danny AI and then doing your own investigation afterwards.
Don't be so hasty.
Yeah.
Like I think I was just in a panic and I would just want to be upfront and get that duck off my back because it was killing me knowing that, I
especially after the conversation earlier in the day. Ever lost footage?
I know.
Me no. No. Well, this is a permanent record that you have indeed lost footage. However, you were able to recover it. So
and I told the couple and they sent me a selfie and they were absolutely buzzing. And without even asking, they were like, there's the 500 quid back.
There you go.
So it was great.
Happy days.
Happy days. I've got the footage. I'm still sort of working through getting them all finalized, but they're good and I've got all the footage ready to go. So there's lessons to be learned here. Biggest bit of advice, and I'm sure most people probably do this, but you know what it's like when you get to the end of the day, you just want to put your cameras in the bags and get out. Take the cards out of all your cameras. Just take them out because once you know all your cards are in one place, you can then easily back them up. So I will be taking all of my cards out of my camera and I'll be placing them on in a certain system that I understand in my cards so that when I go home, they're just a case of going in.
So I've got, when I'm really, really stretched and I'm back to back and I know that I'm going to be back, so say if I'm back at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I've got another one the next day, I've just got like a whole other set of cards and I've got another card box that the one's a red one and one's a blue one. The red one or the one that's been recorded on, R for record, red for record. And I put them into there and then I just leave that one at home. But obviously I try and make sure that it's all done that night.
I did think about that on Sunday. Like I should have 2 because obviously I use I've used dual recording in the past, and when we were doing the associate shoot, they had us using Sony, so we used the 2 cards, and I kind of thought I would have a box so that one card would go into one and one card would go into the other. So in the case of someone taking a card from one, I have a backup in the other box. I thought about that, but having 2 of them would be a good idea as well. Also just means buying more cards, but
Kirsty's forever at me like, just get to your bed, and I'm like, I can't
No.
I need to make sure that it's all backing up.
I won't do that again. I will. The first thing I do is make sure I've got everything.
Yeah.
Like it's just paramount, because you just don't want to be in that position where you lose footage.
Yeah.
Because God forbid, I mean, if it was any more than just The Last Dance, like, I don't know if that's how I felt about a portion of the day. I don't know how I would even begin to approach losing footage of an entire wedding. So obviously, backing up on extra hard drives, cloud storage if you can.
Another shout out, Backblaze.
Yeah.
Backblaze. So now I don't have quite as fast internet as I used to have. I used to have 900 meg up and down. I've now got 900 down and 100 up. But I can still have a full, like a 500 gigabyte wedding uploaded to the cloud within like a day and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
So that gives me peace of mind as well, because I now, because I've got the cloud backup, I'll put it onto an SSD, then onto the hard drive, because it's quicker to put it onto the SSD. I've found that's another quick cheat code if you're not doing it already. When you get home, transfer it onto an SSD.
Oh yeah, I never put it onto a hard drive.
I used to do it on a hard drive and it take fucking ages. But SSD first, SSD to hard drive, then I've got it set up for auto backups overnight, and then so it's in two places at that point, and then it goes to the cloud for the third, and then I just wipe the SSD, and then that's it, sorted. So, but you'll not make that mistake again.
100%. No, I'll be right on it, at least for the next couple of months.
Well, thanks very much for sharing that that story, Jason.
I think it's important because, like, this is there's a lot going on in this job, and it's so easy to make mistakes, and like everyone does it. I know that at some point, like Gene kept telling me, Gene did say, he'd be like, oh, I bet Danny's done it, he's just not telling you. I was like, no, this is not something that Danny does. Danny does not mess up. He is perfection, right?
Oh, stop it.
Man. No, Danny will not lose footage. That just doesn't happen to Danny. And to be fair, in 19 years, I've never lost anything apart from that. So it's the first time for me. But you learn from mistakes.
Even Tyson Fury had to lose sometime.
That's it,
Well, that's all we've got time for this week, guys. In other news, I have got a very exciting delivery to go home to, which you'll no doubt see on my stories at some point, but I'm excited about it. Can't tell you what it is right now, though, but you're going to have to check the stories and find out. So I am going home to that in a brand new floor. But until next week, I've been Danny.
I've been Jase.
And that's been That Wedding Videographer Podcast. See you then.
Don't format your cards.